When you talk long-term wealth, what you think about is investments like commercial real estate. You see, commercial real estate investing is one of the most powerful tools that the most successful people on the planet have leveraged in order to build and amass significant wealth. So in this video, I'm going to share with you why we believe commercial real estate is something that you should consider putting into your portfolio. The first reason why I believe commercial real estate investing is such a powerful tool for long-term wealth is cash flow. You see, passive income that generates every single month gives you the freedom financially to do whatever you want with your time. And what most people don't realize is that what we're seeking when we talk about making money is we're seeking liberty so that we can actually buy our time and we can live our lives and enjoy our lives during that period of time with the freedom and flexibility to do whatever it is that we want to do. Another reason why I believe commercial real estate investing is such an amazing tool is because of tenant diversification. You see, in the residential space, unless if you're dealing with multifamily, which is still considered commercial, when you have a tenant that stops paying, you have 100% vacancy for that property. And in commercial, when you diversify your investment with multiple tenants, even if you have one or two problems, you're still covered as far as cash flow is concerned because you have multiple tenants covering and shouldering the risk of your investment. And when you look at long-term growth and stability, when you manage a project correctly and maintain the commercial asset, it isn't literally a finite asset. They're not making any more real estate, right? And so when you're dealing with commercial, if you maintain it well, you have a tangible asset that if the market changes, you can repurpose and you have more stability. Where, for example, if you're in a stock and that company goes out of business, you could truly lose all of your money. In a situation where commercial, you can get creative because it is a tangible asset and you can repurpose it to generate more money and protect your investment. Now, one of my favorite reasons why I love commercial is because commercial real estate has so many ways of being creative with financing. You see, a lot of people are mystified by the fact that commercial has a lot of extra zeros at the end and they get scared. But the reality is commercial has so many opportunities for you to finance. In many cases, in projects, we get seller financing. We're able to structure deals with syndication. In fact, our third fund that we're launching right now, it's a Reg A offering. We just approved it. Part of us raising capital with our shareholders is to invest in these types of commercial assets. Now, there are so many different ways to do it. And why? Because if you really think about it, commercial real estate investments produce cash flow. And so lenders generally will finance based on the income stream. And that's when they call what we call a debt service coverage ratio. And so as long as you have a solid project that's performing, the structuring of financing is always a possibility, and it gives you the ability to be creative, to really be able to generate a lot of different strategies, and it gives you access to so many projects that you otherwise wouldn't be able to acquire with just the cash that you personally have. The beautiful thing about having a commercial asset is that it brings a hedge against inflation because most leases and most of the transactions that are done have a clause that will increase the rents based on inflationary cost. And so what that does is it allows you as an investor to continue to grow your cash flow stream to offset against the inflation cost. And that's a beautiful thing for commercial investments because it gives you a true long-term cash flow strategy that becomes a hedge against inflation, bringing more stability and more security to your portfolio. Commercial real estate should be looked at as a long-term strategy to build long-term wealth. But at some point, if you want to sell, one of the most amazing benefits is the fact that this asset, as you gradually increase the rents, you gradually increase the income of the property, which ultimately increases the equity value of your asset. And so when you think about a long-term wealth strategy, even in 5, 10, 15, 20 years, when it's time to sell the asset, if you've managed it correctly and you've properly increased the actual rents, that income will determine the new value of your asset, and therefore you can receive the appreciation that your property has grown over time. Now, this might be something you may not appreciate right now, but the more money you make and the more you grow and the more income you actually generate for yourself and your business, the more you realize how expensive taxes really are. And so one of the powerful tools that you can leverage with commercial real estate is depreciation. And let me give you a visual. When you're looking at a residential property, based on the tax code, you're given basically up to 27.5 years in which you can write off the depreciation on your property. So you do have a decent one. But compare that with 39 years that the tax code allows you year over year to depreciate your asset so that you can actually save money on taxes. And so when you really start analyzing what those implications are and how much money you save from paying taxes, commercial real estate, hands down, gives you the longest bang for your buck on a long-term investment strategy. And like I said earlier, It is amazing how a commercial investment can truly leave a legacy for generations to come for your family. And that's one of the reasons why we love commercial real estate. And one of the reasons why we're incorporating it in our third fund, which is a Reg A offering, where investors who don't have the millions of dollars, they can join us as we buy these commercial assets, lend money, and implement all of our strategies with as little as $5,000.